guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Saturday, August 7th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Yay! Come on in. Good to see everybody. I'm looking forward to tonight. I've had so much fun, guys, showing you these colorings. Welcome to my Facebook peeps who pop in and chat. Welcome to my Facebook peeps that pop in and lurk and watch. Hope you're learning, but feel free to drop on in anytime. And welcome to my YouTube peeps. So this live presentation goes to video and Facebook after the fact, and then I upload it to YouTube. Hi, Sandy. I see that. Hello. Thank you. So, got a bunch of stuff to show you. And get my cords out of the way. Alrighty. So I'm still going to be working on my adorable animals. We don't have too much more to go on this, guys. Good evening, Mary. Good to see you, Mary. Hi, Marianne. Congratulations to everybody that's been posting their pictures. They look wonderful. Let me look at something real quick here. Let's see here. La da da da. Okay. I'm just checking something out on Facebook while I'm yakking at you. Hello, Kaz. Kaz, I'm so glad you could make it. Australia. Love it. She says good morning. We say good evening. Good day, mate. Good day. You say tomato. I say tomato. Oh, Eileen's feeling good tonight. Okay. So I'm going to be working on adorable animals. We're almost done with it. And then I'm going to pop over to my pirate. So we have Fantasia. Hey, Kaz, I've got a question. So when you say good day, mate, is it mostly the men that just say that to each other, or do the women say that to each other as well? Now, I colored this particular piece a while back. Zoom out. Because I was playing around with it, and I'm going to show you how to do this little rolling beach thingy. Lots of fun with this. All right. So it's a bit of both. Okay. So women say that to each other as well. So it's like we'll say hello friend or something like that nature. So I was just curious. I didn't know if it was a guy thing or not. Hello, Wanda. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, all right. So I was working on the corn last night. I showed you how to do the corn silk. I worked on the straw. Zoom in. Did the corn leaves. Oh, that was so much fun. Won't be here long, going out tonight. Oh, that's cool. So Cass says, to be honest, it's not as popular as it used to be. Mate is used a lot. I normally say hi. Okay. Gotcha. I was just curious. You know, that's a cultural thing. Wanda, are you going out dancing? All right. So I've got an area here. Let me adjust my light so we don't have glare. Oh, good. You're going out dancing. Yay. Zoom in. So I've got a little bit of corn stalk, actually in two areas here, leaves. Yeah, she didn't get a chance to dance last time. Doggone it, Wanda. So I'm looking at this piece and there's some light in it here, just a little bit. La, da, da, da. Hello, Rhonda. So Wanda, when you're going out tonight, are you going to be thinking about the new pencils that you got? Wanda got her Brut Funners. So here's my dark. Sandy said we were supposed to go out to listen to a band, but it's raining, so I'm here coloring. Kinda, yes, Wanda says. Thinking about her Brut Funners. I think you're going to be thinking more about dancing. So tell me you at least got the package open. And then I've got my light color here. Excuse me, my medium. My medium, I misspoke. Wanda says she's off work tomorrow. Oh, she's going to play with the Brut Funners tomorrow. Absolutely, and looked at all 520 pencils, says Wanda. Sandy says she's trying her Brut Funners tonight for the first time. Cool. Oh, the array of colors is drop dead gorgeous, isn't it? Did your eyes cross, Wanda, when you saw them all? All right, there we go. Oh, your eyes did not cross when you saw them all. Okay. Mine did. I just looked at them and loved on them. Okay. Sandy says she sent her daughters the picture of the 520 pencils and they said OMG. So Rhonda says, funny, I don't have more than 24 to 36 pencils of any one kind. And Wanda says, last coloring supplies I'll be able to get for a long time. I hear ya. Okay. So let me move down now to this other area here. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's in the room. Okay, bottom portion of my cornstalk here. And like I said, I'll be moving on to my pirate picture. Hi, Marianne. And then we'll go into little dark portions here. Now, again, guys, as I've told you and as Wanda has told you, don't go super dark and shoving your pencil into the paper. Because when you do, you make streaks, and you don't want that. You want your initial layers of pencil to blend with the next layer that you put on. Good night, Wanda. Have fun. Mary said she was given 4 gallons of buttons today. Woohoo! I washed them and will sort them, some for coloring, some for school, and some for the scouts. Oh, you go, Mary. Wanda's going out on her dancing shoes. All right, so now I'm going to use my dark. I'm sorry, my medium. And what I want you to notice now, Pearly, hello. What I want you to notice is I'm taking my medium color and I'm making sure that my dark is not streaking with it. So notice how I'm coloring horizontally to pull some of that color that way. Pearly, 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 good to see ya. So for you, those of you that arrived a little late, I'll be working on the pirate tonight as well. I should be able to get to it, I think. And now I'm taking my lightest color and I'm also blending with that. Just use your judgment. Zoom out. Zoom out. Alright, so we've got that lower corner basically done. I've just got these two flowers, the face and the background, and we are good to go. And any other areas that I've missed that you guys may notice. Alright, and while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to tweak on my glove. Thank you, Sarah. Zoom in. I'm going to stretch out my white a little bit here because it was looking funny. And then I'll take a very light blue. And if I need to blend a little bit, I'll blend over my colors. But again, guys, there comes a point where you just can't blend anymore because everything will just mush together. Every time you blend, you're pushing your colors together. Yeah, it turned out really well, Sarah. Thank you. And welcome to everybody that's watching. Cass, I've got like 17 brands of pencils and I use them interchangeably. So, Brett Funner's, Prismacolor, Polychromos, Sooty Style, just a bunch. So when you're watching me, watch for color instead of brand. Okay. And I also taught you guys, yeah, I don't want you guys to get hung up on pencils. I really don't. And Rhonda says, I think I'm liking using a light color to blend instead of the blender pencils most of the time. Absolutely, especially on Grayscale, guys. If you can, it's much better to use your pencils than a blender pencil. A blender pencil is very harsh. Okay. Oh, Pearl, you're welcome. Pearl says, ILene, you always put us in awe with all the knowledge you have and share with us, and we are in awe and very appreciative. Oh, you're welcome. Could you perhaps do another session or two using, oh, the chalks? Yes, yes, yes. Just putting an idea to you to give us more. Yes. Listen, guys. If you have something that you want me to use, speak up, please. I absolutely have no problem with you guys asking me about stuff like that, because I can't, look, I can't think of this all the time. You know, everything. I will be more than happy to use chalk, sure. Well, you guys are wonderful. Yes, and Pearl does speak up, and I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our flowers. La-da-dum, la-da-dum. Listen, guys. If I didn't want you guys to say anything, I wouldn't be doing this live. This is why I do it live, right? This is why I ask you to invite people who are by themselves and need some companionship and just want to watch. That's cool too. And if you color and you're alone, cool. That's what we do. Okay, I got a little purple on there. Oops. Oh, we'll see how we can fix this. So yeah, I will gladly use chalks. Okay, zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to do this flower a little bit differently. I'm going to use a little bit more yellow and orange. And actually, I'm not going to use orange, I'm going to use red. And you see why? We've got these sunflowers. Oh, that is a sunflower, duh. Hello. We are back to our sunflowers. I'm glad I woke up to that fact. Just smack me? Okie doke. Okay, so I'm doing my lightest color first. And actually, I'm really finding that I like that a lot better. I was doing my lightest color last. And I decided to try it out the way that Wanda says that she does it, and I like it better. Because when you do your lightest colors first, yeah, I got a little purple on there. It brings out the mediums and the darks a lot better. So now I'm going to use my dark, which is my, it's called a Venetian Red by Faber-Castell, but I've got it sorted in with my browns. Because to me it's more of a brown. Rhonda says, I consider all my flowers fantasy flowers because I never know what color specific flowers are supposed to be. Hi Dorothy. You've got company, but we'll keep peeking in once in a while. Want to see how you do the face. Okay. Face will be done tonight. Dorothy, did you get help with posting your pictures? So Pearl says that Wanda, combine Wanda and ILene and we have an awesome team working for us. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to go with my mediums. Okay, we'll help you later, Dorothy. So this is my medium yellow now, and that's giving me that sunflower look. Now, I want you to know that sunflowers come in a lot of different shades. Oh, you're welcome, Dorothy. We'll get you working on it. Oh man, look at how those petals are starting to show up. So I'm using my medium color now. Get rid of that purple. Oh, gorgeous. And again, guys, if this were just a line art drawing, this is what you should be doing on it. Mary says she's sleepy, very busy day with the grands. Okay, well, sit back and relax. And I'm doing a combination of just coloring, of both coloring it in the light spots and also going over the spots that I colored my medium. Layers are the key. And when you color, you're not going to wipe out your previous colors. I want you guys to get very straight with that. And as Rhonda is starting to realize, when you use your colored pencils to do the blending, and see, I was able to get away with that purple problem at the tips of my flowers because it just made the purple turn brown, which works. And look how pretty that is, guys. Okay, now I'm going to go back and adjust with my darkest color a little bit. Play with it. Maybe, now look, I'm going to outline a couple of my flowers. Excuse me, petals. See how I'm doing that? Now the author didn't call for it, but I'm doing it because that's going to give me depth. And I also want you to notice, Kaz is from Australia. We are getting a really good Australian contingent in here. It's what, 10:30, 10:40 in the morning. Okay, see how I'm adding this little extra brown in between the petals, and that's making those starting to stand out. The coloring book author did not put that in there. I'm doing that. And that's what you'll start to learn to do. And notice when I'm putting this darkest brown down now on top of the yellow, that's coming out a completely different color than my initial brown at the base of the petals. Everybody see that? Oh, how cool is that? And I have no problem with taking my finger and then just rubbing that a little bit. And of course I'll brush it. Okie dokie. Hey, we love our Aussies, I'll tell you. And I'm not just saying that to be cute. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Okay. So let's go ahead and okay. Now, let me show you something here, guys. On this other sunflower here, the black portion was towards the outside. And then the yellowish was on the inside with little doobies in there. So, let me see something here. This looks like this is supposed to be like the center of the flower, but I'm not going to make it yellow because I think it's just going to confuse the issue. Now, this is where you use your artistic judgment. And don't say, I don't have artistic judgment. Oops, it would help if I stay on camera. Don't say that you don't have artistic judgment, because you do. If I hear anybody putting themselves down, I'm going to reach through the monitor and I'm going to smack you. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a black center. And then I'm going to take my white pencil, and the only white pencil, I use Prismacolor. That's the only white that I use. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll dot this up a little bit. And then I'm going to use a little bit of white on my yellow, and that's going to brighten this up even a little more. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. How pretty is that? Oh, I love it. Zoom out. Zoom out. And I promise you that as you color and get going on here and listen to me, that you'll start developing your own style, and you'll know when to add the white, and you'll know, when to try something and when not to try something. And then I'm just going to hit that with my finger just a little bit. That's optional for you, but I want everything to blend beautifully. Okay. Now, on these apples, for example, if you want to hit those with a little white, you can. Don't get crazy with it. And we'll just punch that up just a little bit. See, I'm just showing you how to do this stuff, and then at some point in time, you're going to be able to tell what looks good to you and what doesn't. Okay. I'm still not quite happy with that flower, but I'm still going to move on. We'll get there. Okay. So let me decide how I'm going to turn this. I'm going to go back on this flower that I just did for you, and I'm going to add a little bit of a brighter yellow into my light spots. I think we need that just to balance that off a little bit. We'll make this guy just a little bit brighter. And remember, when you layer your colors, your previous colors don't go away. They merge and they blend and they make pretty. Oh, that's much better. See how that's looking better now? So I'm going to substitute in this slightly brighter yellow for my last sunflower. Zoom in. All right. Let me move you up just a little bit. Little bit. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so brighter yellow. Kaz, I will have you know that I even one day played the Australian national anthem. That was a crazy night. Oh my gosh. Played the Canadian one, then I played the American one, and then a few days later I played the Australian one. And then I played our theme song. Okay, so there's my bright colors first, right? My brightest color. Actually, I should have done dark, but that's okay too. Everybody see now that when you put in your lightest color, you can really see your darker color. All right, hold on. Lost a pencil here. There we go. Okay, so I've got my dark now that I'm doing. So I did my light and then my dark and then I'll do my medium. That's the way I've been doing it. And notice now that since I did the light portion, you can really see where the darker and the medium are. Linda Hirschenroder. Hello, Linda. Linda has entered the room. Now, I want you to remember that this is not a quote-unquote fill in the blank when you color. I want you to color and stroke it just like you would be doing a line art illustration. Relax. Let your hand flow with what you're doing, okay? Light, dark, medium. Yes, ma'am, Taz. As soon as you put your light in, the dark and the medium show up beautifully. Now, if you want, you can do dark, light, and then medium. Whatever works for you. Okay, now I'm going to pop in with my medium. Medium, voila. Okay, now I'm using my medium pencil. Watch this. Zoom in. I'm using my medium pencil now to blend over my dark and some of my light. Look at that. See how that's working? So the medium pencil becomes your blender pencil. Oh my gosh, isn't that gorgeous? Kaz says, love this picture, we'll have to order the book. Okay. Listen, this is a really good book because it also gives instructions about how to color grayscale. Everybody see now how I'm literally using my medium pencil now to blend in my other colors. Hey Kaz, you love this picture because I'm doing a knockout job with it. Oh, I'm joshing you. That's American slang. That just means I'm joking. Okay, Rhonda Green. See that? See how this is blending now? Blah, 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 ha. And then this is where you can go back. I'm going to go back with my dark just a little bit. I'm going to soften those lines. See, they're a little harsh. This is why I keep telling you, come in very, very light. With your colors, guys, when you lay them down. If you're not light enough, this is what's going to happen. You'll get streaky marks. So I have to go back and correct it. There we go. Better. And then, again, blah ha ha as you're laughing. Uh-huh. And then, don't overblend. When you're done and you're happy, quit. Because otherwise, if you keep blending and blending and blending, you're going to get mush. Okay, Rhonda says, okay, I'm experimenting again using wet and dry eyeshadow, watercolor brush, and sponge applicator to do a background for the turtle picture. Not sure about my design. Okay, well, we'll see when you post it. Okay. So I put my light and my dark down. Now I've got my medium here. So Sandy says, after doing a couple of grayscale and switched to line art, I mixed two colors and forgot to use a blender pencil. And I blended with the colored pencil. There you go. And I've talked about that a long time. You can blend with your colored pencil. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my dark a little bit and just smooth that out. My dark is a little bit streaky. And the neat thing is, when I'm coming back in with my dark over the yellow now, it comes in as a different brown altogether. So that works out pretty cool too. Everybody understand what I'm saying there? Zoom out. Okay. So, yellow pencil on the middle here. And if you want to use a little bit of orange, whoops, a little bit of orange where that yellow is. Yeah, see that? Zoom in. See where I put that orange now at the top? So now we've got a multicolored center, which looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of a Christmas wreath. And Pearl, if I start to forget about using chalks for a background, just remind me. Okay. So that orange and that yellow look pretty cool. All right, now I'm going to take my gray, not black, remember. And I'm going to go ahead and work up this little background here. Thank you, Linda. Remember, guys, you want to use different shades of your color. Quit this one-dimensional coloring, especially when you're doing line art coloring. So yellow and orange for the center of flowers looks absolutely beautiful. Let's see if I can get in between here. And if it annoys you to do the center like this, then walk away from it for a while and do something else. This is part of your coloring. And what I'm doing to get this gray to lay down really beautifully is I'm just doing, when I'm coloring, I'm just doing teeny tiny wiggles and strokes and little circles and stuff like that, and it's making this color come down beautifully. Rita from Guatemala. Hi, Rita, who now lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Oh, how cool does that look? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. And I'm going to take a little bit of my gray and just kiss the page next to, zoom in, these petals. And what that will do is that's going to make them look dimensional, right? And they're going to start popping off the page for you. So determine where your top petals are. Put a little bit of this light gray on either side, and boom. Look how dimensional that looks all of a sudden. Yes, ma'am. So Sandy says, since I met this group, I'm enjoying my coloring so much more. Yeah. Cool. Okay. A little bit of gray in between. Again, you got to figure out where your top petals are. And just put a little bit. Little bit. I'm barely touching the paper. Kaz wants me to zoom in. Okay. Zoom in. Figure out which are your which are your top petals, and just put your little shadow by them. Okay, Kaz, a little bit of gray on either side of the top petals, not on top of them, because you want to create that shadow. So you see this petal right here, that's laying underneath, this one's on top. So that's why I put that little bit of gray right there. And not much. Yeah, next to the top petals. Alright, Pearly's back. Alright, so I'm going to go through here and I'm going to re-darken this up. It got lost in the mix a little bit. And that happens sometimes, because sometimes when you're moving even your paper towel on top of it, it's going to mess with your previous coloring. And then I'm going to also add some smudges of orange. On my center flowers here. much better. Okay, and let's see here. Yes, because black instantaneously adds too dark of a shading. And what will happen is if you use black, that black is going to stick out like a sore thumb on your entire picture. That's why you should use gray, which is what I'm using right here. And Prismacolor, for example, no, polychromos, you can use like a 95% gray. Let me put it this way. Using black instead of gray is like using a 357 Magnum instead of a 22. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Zoom out. If you don't understand the reference, let me know. Cal's got it. Okay. All right, let's do a little bit of the sky and get that done, and the face. Now, this would be a good place where I could use chalks, but the spaces are so small, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use a light, medium, and dark blue. Now, there's not much gray difference here in our sky. So let me go ahead and start putting that light down. Zoom in. So here's my light blue that I'm putting down. Okay, Rhonda, thank you for telling us that you stepped away and that you're back. Whoops. Had a little dirty spot on the pencil. That happens sometimes. You see the little spots here? Sometimes in the wax you'll be coloring along and all of a sudden you'll get like a oopsie like that. That's in the wax. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Yep, we can get rid of that. Now be careful when you erase on Grayscale, because sometimes the gray goes with it, depending on the quality of the book and the printing. Oh, pretty. Okay, so that's my light. All right, now I'm going to go with my medium blue this time. Zoom out, because my dark blue is going to be too dark. So I'm very, very lightly using my medium blue. And I'm using it more towards the outside. Along the edges of the piece. Thank you, Linda. Now, we all know that the corn stalks wouldn't really cast a shadow, right? So we're using some poetic license here. Just shadow that a little bit. All right, let me work this way here. Let me sharpen my pencil. Yeah, that light blue, Linda, that you liked is a Brett Fooner. It's called Bit of Blue. And I can't read, let's see if we can, oh, there we go. K60. So yeah, the good news on the Brett Funners, they're labeled. The bad news is it's an extremely teeny tiny print. And notice that I'm not shading across the top, because why? That's extended sky. The corn stalk would be going up here, so there's no edge. Okay. Now, we've got all sorts of popcorn going on, which means that the color isn't going down smoothly. And sometimes this happens when you mix pencils. The darker blue is a Cool Bank blue. And sometimes brands will not get along with each other. Now, rather than use a blender pencil, I'm going to go back with my initial blue. That you guys liked. And I'm going to smooth that out. Now, I've noticed... Oh, hi, Sandy. I'm sorry, didn't see you. I've noticed the Cool Bank pencils tend to do this. So, just be aware. And I don't want you guys having a hissy fit over about it. See, I'm going back with my initial, or my darker blue here, the Cool Bank, and getting rid of that popcorn. You just got to play with it. So the point of all that is this, ladies and gentlemen, is if you have a pencil do that, don't throw your hands up and say, oh my gosh, it's ruined, da 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 da. No, it's an aggravation, but it's fixable. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. So now this is my initial blue here again that I'm going over the Cool Banks blue to smooth it out. And if it gets really difficult and it doesn't smooth out, then I would start using a blender pencil to very lightly start pulling off that popcorn. Sorry, my little choo-choo train of thought derailed. And I've also told you guys, Stephanie, haven't seen you for ages. Oh, my pencil did it again. Good grief. Let's get rid of that. I guess so, Stephanie. You gonna be able to visit us for a while now? Good. And then I'm using my lighter blue. All right, let's take a peek at this now. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, still a little bit rough in some places, so now I'm going to pull out the blender pencil. Now you got to be careful, because in trying to solve one problem you might create another. So you got to look and see what it does when you start attempting a fix. And actually, I don't mind that little rough looking. I think it makes it look cool. All right, let me grab some water. Zoom out. So there we are so far. Now that light blue that I'm using on the sky, I'm going to use a little bit on my bird. Just to put a little bit of swoosh into my feathers. So you don't necessarily have to use white. You can just use, like in this case, a light blue. See that? Oh, much better. So it's not just the white that you can use a light color of the color you're blending. White would be a little bit too glary is what I want. And the key, guys, to having this being a beautiful piece, blending. You've got to get your blending down. Okay. Let's get our cutie pie face. Good night, Pearly. Good night, Pearl. Good night, Pearly. Good night, Pearly. So glad you could make it tonight. Zoom in. Stephanie, I am so glad to see you back. My gosh. Okay, I'm using a light gold now on this face. Very, very light. Now, remember that we have these shadows right here, so I'm going to darken those, okay? We don't want to lose our shadows. And I want you to keep in mind that this whole piece here on the face is meant to be in the yellows. So that's why I started out with the yellow color that I did. And what I'm doing now is I'm going ahead and I'm adding what would be the shadow of the hat. So here's the shadow of the stalks. So Stephanie, are you back into coloring now? What's the deal? Now, the author did not shadow this face with the hat. I'm adding that. Glad to hear it, Stephanie. Okay, does everybody see now how I have, and what helps me see how I'm moving my hand, and now I'm just kind of paralleling this. That helps me determine where my line's going to be. So see? So the hat now has a little bit of a shade on the face, and newbie colors think that shading is done with gray. No, it's actually done with the darker color on the surface that the shadow is is landing on. I did that mistake. I would add shadow is gray, and that's not what you need to be doing. Rebecca Jones. Okay, now this is coming out a little popcorny. So very, very lightly, I'm going to clean off my blender pencil first. And then I'm going to very lightly blend that in. Blend your pencil on Grayscale really should be a last resort. What color do you want me to make the eyes, guys? We're getting all sorts of people back. Yay! Okay. Now I'm adding a little bit of shadow underneath the nose. I did this before. Stephanie says green eyes. Or blue. Okay, now, if you lose the shadow underneath the hay, I'm going to add just a tap of gray here. Just a little bit just to darken it, but not much. That way we won't lose it. Come on, guys, throw some colors at me for the eyes. So far I've got green and blue. The nose, I'm going to go ahead and just pop a little orange in there. Doing my light portion first. Cass says brown. Here's my dark on the nose. So light, dark, and then my medium. Liz Taylor purple. Oh yeah, I did that one time, didn't I? What was it, violet and blue? Okay, now I've got my medium purple. I'm sorry, medium orange. Use a glitter pen for the eyes. So I got a little bit of my orange on the top here, so I'm just gently scraping that off with an X-Acto knife because I have several layers of wax and I can get rid of that. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow underneath the eyes just to brighten those up. Bluish gray, says Linda. Notice how the yellow now is making the eyes, I'm curving it, making everything pop. Remember, we got a scarecrow here. Oh, let's see. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go with some shades of purple, purple and blue. All right. Zoom in. So for those of you that are concerned about adding color on black, because this is black, I want you to watch what happens when you do that. Everybody see how that's starting? Angela Campbell, hi. Angela, now that you're here, congratulations on your posting of your piece of the scarecrow. When Angela posted, she said, "Third attempt, Adorable Animals by Jane Madej. I'm so pleased with how it's turning out. I went back and played the relevant video tonight. Your apples, everything looks fantastic. My hat's off to you. Thumbs up." Okay, everybody see now how this purple is showing up on the black, right? You guys were concerned about coloring black grayscale? Here you go. It colors beautifully. I know that it looks like that it wouldn't, but it does. Oh, Angela, you did a beautiful job. And then I'm going to put some blue. So I start my blue back here in the purple and bring my blue down. Look how gorgeous that looks, guys. Well, Angela, I just don't stress over it. Have fun. Relax. Okay, does everybody see now? Zoom in. So I've got my purple at the top. On black. And I have the blue on the bottom. Oh my gosh, that looks so gorgeous. Okay, and I'm even going to take a little bit of, this will surprise you too. See, for you guys that said you can't color on black grayscale, yes you can. I'm going to put just a little bit of green on here. To make it kind of an aqua bluish green. Just a touch. So do you guys believe me now that you can color on black? Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at those eyes. Isn't that gorgeous? See, you guys, just every time you tune in, you learn something new. I'm going to take a little bit of gray and just go around the outside of the eyes. Zoom in. gray got a little bit lost because of being colored over with the yellow, so you just fix it. Okay, so you saw how I put the shadow from the hat, right? Now I'm going to take the mouth and I'm going to put my gold on here because this is a hay, you know, it's the hay. Well, it's thread, but we're going to make it like it's the hay. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of brown. And I'm going to throw that in a little bit. It's a brownish red. So it's kind of like a little, little lipstick. And then I'm going to take, now if you want to, guys, you could go ahead and add a little bit of shading around the eyes here. Zoom, okay, I think that's a good view for you. See that? So let's crinkle up the eyes a little bit and just put a little shading around them like this. Everybody see how I'm doing that? Much better. There we go. So now we've got a little better definition here. Now I've got a little bit of a shadow by the author here. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and just darken that just a little bit. Actually, it's just oh, I know what it is. It's the creases of the material. There we go. And see, I'm even going to carry that a little further. Look at that, see? Oh, I like that. Okay. And then one more quick thing. La, 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 la. Zoom out. We're going to have just a little bit of pink. On the cheeks. So we've got that one there. Now this one's going to be a little more wonky to color because the hair is going to end up over it a little. But that makes it look really cool, doesn't it? Okay, now zoom in. The pink is looking a little popcorny. I don't know if you can see it on camera. So I'm going to take, here's a little trick for you. I'm going to take the white and I'm going to blend over the top. Of the pink. And then I'm going to come back in with my pink again. And the reason that I did that is because by putting in that layer of white that got rid of all my popcorn color, and now when I go back to put my pink on, it is smoother. So there's a little trick for you. Got it? Okay. Look at the difference between the two. Zoom in. See that? Smooth popcorn. Everybody understand what that popcorn means? So I'm going to go over this in white, and what's happening is those little gaps are being filled in with the wax. And then I'm going to go right back over it again with my pink again. And then I'm going to rub that a little bit with my finger. And rub that with my finger. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. I think I'm going to call that one done. Now, off camera, I'll tweak this a little bit. Anybody have any questions or comments at all? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Bottom right corner. Ooh, oops, 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 oops. Thank you, Kaz. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. So there's my light. Here's my dark. Now, there's not too much dark here at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick to my edges with it, pretty much. That'll give me some shading, see that? And this is what I was saying before, is that the shadow from the flower makes the surface darker, and this surface is green. So we make dark green, right? Thanks for catching that, Cass. And then I'm going to use my medium green. So my medium green is working beautifully to blend this. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Now we got her. Okay. Questions, comments? Now, one thing I'm considering doing, but I'm not going to do it right now, I'm going to even up the edges on this, and I'm thinking about putting a border on this. And I may put like a brown border on it, so what I'll probably do is use my alcohol markers and go around the outside. And probably with a pretty good dark brown. So there we go. All right, let me get a little water here and we'll get on to the next project. Yeah, I like how that face turned out. Let me curve this area here a little bit more. And I'm glad that you guys now see how you can color on black grayscale. Kaz, I put them in a acid-free clear sleeve, and I put them in a notebook, 3-ring binder notebook. Okay. And again, guys, I have no ego in this. If you have any questions or comments on this, like something, don't like something, you're not going to hurt my feelings. And if you aren't enthusiastic about the picture, I at least want you to learn the techniques. Okay. Boom. We got us a new picture. Let me curl this backwards so it lays flat. One of these days I'm going to get my notebook out and all my pictures and go a wide view, and I'll show you a lot of the stuff. And I have an Instagram account, and every time I do a picture I post it up there as well. Okay, so this book, I've been promising to do the pirate. This is from the Fantasia by Nicholas Chandrawienata. Beautiful, beautiful book, spiral bound. And what I did is I printed this out on my cardstock and was playing around with the colors. And this is what I did with it. Pearlie would like me to use some of my chalks. She went to bed though, I'll have to do that another night. But what I did is I added the sea background and the sand and put some foamy, made a foamy effect here. And I added a teeny tiny sailboat in the back. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. So you can see my little sailboat. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. Zoom out. Zoom out. Stephanie, good night. So you will be joining us again, right, Steph? Zoom out. Oh, I'm having too much fun. I am having too much fun. That's right, Steph. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think you joined us a little late. Where, Stephanie, where do you live? Okay. I am in Central Time Zone. So you'll just have to adjust if you're not living in the same time zone. New York, you're an hour ahead of me, so it's 10 o'clock your time. 10:10 your time. So when it's 7 o'clock my time, it's 8 o'clock your time. Just to let you know. Okay. So I'm going to be using different mediums on this. Rhonda's an Eastern Standard, that's right. 10 a.m. Australian, that's right. So Kaz is going to watch us, and then when the broadcast is done, she's going to get herself some lunch. Okay. So I'm going to start with some alcohol markers. Now, just because I use the alcohol markers, you can always use the equivalent in your pencils. So please do not feel left out if I'm doing something with alcohol. Okay, I need to look up something real quick. Okay, good question. Kaz said I would be saying, where do I begin? Here, let me look up something on my markers. These are tutorials I've done. Let's see here. Okay, WG00 or Y400. Okay. Oh, Y411. All right, Y400. Hold on, guys. And Kaz, that is a very legitimate question. A lot of people get flustered because they don't know where to start. And so what I do, now, I'm going to be putting paper behind this. Good, I'm glad you're enjoying the music, but let me know if it bothers anybody. So what I do is I'll start up with something like the flesh. And then that helps me to make decisions about other colors that I want. Now, I know that a lot of you have problems with Kirby Roseanne's pictures because of that same issue. And what I always say is start with something that inspires you or something you're very familiar with. Zoom in. All right. Now remember, this is my base color only. And if you're not sure about something, I don't know what this is. I can either color it in and then let this be the hoop, I think that's what I'm going to do. And if you color in something and you realize after the fact it shouldn't have been that, so what? Work around it. Earring? Yeah, could be. Although his ear's over here. And this is another reason why I'll go ahead and do something. I mean, if you know for sure that you're going to color your piece, in this case, authentic flesh colors, then go ahead and do that. Now, if you decide, you know, that you're going to make your pirate green or something, and want to wait, that's fine too. Now, notice that I colored the front of the face, but didn't go over that line. The point being, when I color my segments together, and that way they'll have a cohesiveness. And the neat thing is, this is an important point, my marker line is ending right there at that little wrinkle. And so when I go to start up again on the other side, it doesn't have a show a break in my marker. And there's no color difference. So in other words, I use that break to my marker advantage. Excuse me. You see what I mean, Kaz? Okay. Now, if you have different color markers and shades, you can even that out with a pencil. And in fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to deliberately darken my wrinkles. So I've got my same marker. I'm just going over the same spot. So I'm not even shading yet with my pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and darken underneath the eye a little bit. And then on my ear, I'm going to go ahead and darken that a little bit in a couple of the areas. And again, I'm using the same marker. I'm just doing a second layer. Zoom out. So he's looking pretty good. He's looking ruddy. That's what we want. And if you want to go ahead and darken and shade a little bit around the mustache, you can. And we'll worry about smoothing that out later. Now, if you have any lines that you are not happy with, you can use your blender. I'm using Cali Arts, and a blender comes with it. I don't know what they make this stuff out of, but it helps you blend your different colors together. And sometimes I'll use it to lighten up or fix any dark spots. Okay. I don't know if the Copic markers come with blender or not. I'm going to assume that they do. That is a high-end marker. These markers that I have are Ohuhus. Zoom in. Okay. So now I want to make his jacket a leathery, darkish jacket. So I'm going to use a gray. Oh, your friend passed away and she left you some. Oh, Kaz. I'm sorry about your friend. I'm sorry, Kaz. When did this happen? Rhonda, you still hanging in with us? Oh, yeah. So Cass says thank you about a year ago, but miss her so much, especially her hugs. Yeah. Rhonda says, yes, I'm back to working on the nights. Good. Yeah, and you got those markers of hers, and of course that's a constant reminder. That was so nice of her to leave those for you. Now, one of the biggest reasons, oh, have a good cry, get a tissue. What was her name, Kaz? What's her name? Okay, now one of the reasons, the biggest reasons that markers streak is because people go way too fast with them when they're coloring their areas in. You've got to let the markers slowly seep out onto your paper. Her name was Jan. Well, Jan, thank you so much for giving Kaz your markers. Okay. So Kaz, have you used them at all? A lot? A little? Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. All right, so see how I'm carefully filling in my areas. And again, guys, take your time. Zoom in. And don't forget to color in, if you're following along, the area between the feathers here that are sitting on the jacket. Okay, let's get this last area in. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, we've got the jacket, or the coat. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? And notice again, your alcohol markers are going to come through, so be sure that you're working on paper. All right. So now I want to go ahead and establish the colors of the bird. Let's see, let me think about this a minute. All right. Now when you're using alcohol markers, always pull a color lighter than what you think you need. And by that I mean, when you're looking at your cap color, pick the lighter colors and then go from there. So I've got a blue, but I think I'm going to go with a little more of a vibrant blue. Bear with me a moment. Okay, I think I got my blue. Now I'm going to layer the colors of the bird. So I'm going to start at the very top, zoom in. And I'm going to keep this top layer pretty short. Zoom in. And again, notice how I'm coloring my feathers one by one. And that's going to keep your consistency. Whoops, excuse me for being off camera. And look how beautiful, guys, that blue is turning out. Now, the reason that you want to do individual, see how I'm doing them individually, is that that black line in between the feathers is hiding the spot where you're picking up your marker. And that's what's going to keep your piece looking really good. Anybody have any questions about how I'm coloring this area in the blue? And I'm going to go ahead and just go back over this one little area. There we go. Zoom out. Okay, pretty. All right. And now I've got a nice red that I'm going to work with. Now, if you're not sure what feathers that you want to work with and you want to keep track, just put a teeny tiny dot on the ones that you're coloring, and that'll help you keep track. Okay. Rhonda, how you doing? think that this feather right here will work as a blue. Well, Linda, and I know a lot of my people do have Parkinson's and have the issues with the holding the marker or pencil or pen, but I'm so glad that you still enjoy coloring. Okay. Oh, there you go. Linda says, I just consider my slips as my unique way of blending. There you go. Okay, everybody see how these colors now are coming together beautifully. Now, if you can't see where you're going, you can go ahead and, like I said, put little yellow dots on what you intend to color. Zoom in. And again, I want you to notice that each individual area I'm coloring, and that way that'll be less chance of any streaks showing. I'm not just doing the whole thing. Take your time. Except for Linda, who has the advantage of if her hand does shake, she can get it done faster than anybody else. Right, Linda? So see, Linda, you have an advantage over us. Oh man, beautiful tail feathers. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, now I want a very colorful bird. So I'm going to use now a different blue than what I used before, but I don't want that blue to be super, super different. So watch how I go ahead and do this next set of feathers. Zoom in, zoom in. And my peeps know by now that these colors that I'm putting down for the feathers are just my base colors, right? But wait, there's more. And again, if you're using the alcohol-based markers, guys, do not rush them down the page. Take your time. Zoom in. So Linda, on a scale from 1 to 10, how prevalent are your shakes because of your Parkinson's? I mean, hats off that you're still coloring. I love it. Okay, everybody see now how I'm using this next blue. About 6-ish? Okay, gotcha. Zoom out. Okay, everybody see now how I'm incorporating this secondary blue? I don't want you, when you're coloring, to rush into decisions about what color you're going to make an area. Now, I also want you to remember that when you're using something like these markers, they do spread a little bit on the paper. Zoom in. I had a little bit of a spread right here. The blue went a little further onto my yellow. So I'm not going to freak out over that, and I had it happen right here as well. That's just something that you got to work on a little bit. And once you're aware that it's happening, you can go ahead and compensate for it. Okay. Now I'm going to take my first blue and I'm going to back blend it a little bit, which means I'm running it into my previous blue here. Everybody see how I'm doing that? And notice how I'm curving around as I'm coloring. To follow the angle of the feathers. Everybody see that? Now again, you've got to give your markers bleed room, and I would say probably, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch or a 32nd of an inch. You'll figure it out as you go. So in other words, you don't want to quite go up to your edges. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to go ahead and color up underneath with the secondary blue. Anybody have any questions or comments about what I'm doing? Zoom out. And obviously I have a lot more to do on this bird, but I wanted to show you now my basic colors that I have put down. Okay, I think we're good so far. Questions, comments? Yes, I have a few light areas in here, but I'm leaving that on purpose. I think we're in good shape. All right, guys, I'm going to call it an evening, running a little bit over time. I hope you've had fun watching. I hope you had fun watching me complete my scarecrow. zoom out. Really enjoyed doing that for you. She was lots of fun. Hi Harriet, I'm sorry I didn't see you come in earlier. Okay guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I am calling it a night. I will see you tomorrow night, which is Sunday. I hope you had a good time watching. Alright guys, take care. Guys, joyous coloring. Love ya. And be kind to each other, won't ya? Alright. Bye-bye.